Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
We have a couple of more interesting stocks to kick off the month of November for you with. Our strategists, Nina Mishra, here with me at the desk, and Dave Bartosiak out there on Skype are going to provide all of the detail. Dave, we're going to start with you because your pick kind of intrigues me. It's an Argentinian bank. I'm going to let you pronounce it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess the ticker is GGAL, so let's just call it GGAL.
Okay.
No, it's a Grupo Financiero Galicia, and it is a bank in Argentina, which sounds on the surface like a terrible idea, right, given the economic crisis that they've had in Argentina. But there's been a recent election where they kicked out the incumbent who they thought was going to be sort of a pro-business person, and things didn't really turn around. So now they've kind of gone back to the well, and the vice president there is going to be former president. So what happened was during this election cycle previously, when it looked like the incumbent was going to get removed, there was kind of a panic, and investors pretty much sold anything Argentinian related, especially the bank. And you're going to see here, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so you can take a look at what we're pulling up on Zacks.com. This is the price consensus and EPS surprise chart that we have for GGAL. We're going to zoom in a little bit. And black line corresponds to the price. The multicolored lines are the evolution of our Zacks consensus estimates over time. Now, things were going great, 2016, 2017, 2018. And then, the price sort of fell off of a cliff as these estimates really came crashing down. But if you notice, there's been a little bit of a divergence here where these estimates are starting to tick up. These are EPS estimates moving higher, but the stock is continuing to head lower in dramatic fashion too. This is a stock that was almost $40 before its last earnings report. Now it's at 12. So you're kind of left scratching your head based on this, the trajectory to the upside of earnings. Why is this stock down so much? Now, I could see if we had a situation where earnings estimates were moving in the opposite direction. But as you see here, these are huge numbers. Current quarter, let's look at EPS. EPS estimated to grow at 17% for the current year and 16.8% for next year. Now, these analysts are factoring in what's already happening in Argentina, right? All of this is already factored into these numbers. So there's a huge disconnect. And if you look at the sales or revenue side, it's even more dramatic. 33% revenue growth for the current year, 12.8% for next year. Pretty dramatic. And the last thing I want to look at here is just your PE ratio. So looking forward here, 2.98, and then trailing 12, 2.38. So the valuations here I don't believe are indicative of the future for this stock. And I think that obviously there's risk here, okay? But with risk comes reward. And in this case, I think if you come and scoop this thing up off the bottom here, there's plenty of upside potential, but you got to be patient and understand that there may be some more downside.
So is this a value play, Dave?
It's weird for me to do that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna argue that it is. I think it's a value play. I think it's something you got to be patient with, and I don't think that Argentina's financial system is going to burn to the ground completely. And even if they do, this bank doesn't necessarily carry all of that risk. They're diversified across South America, so I think this is a baby out with the bathwater situation.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Nina, you have a more recognizable name in Microsoft.
So yeah, from an Argentinian bank to a boring
technology company,
boring software
right?
companies, which Microsoft is one of the most valuable companies in the world. In fact, only Apple and Microsoft have market cap exceeding $1 trillion.
Okay.
What is remarkable about Microsoft is the way it has reinvented itself since Satya Nadella took over as CEO about 5 years back. They shifted their focus from traditional software sales to their cloud computing business.
Okay.
And they invested a lot in their cloud computing businesses, Azure and Office 365, and that is paying off in a big way now because the global cloud computing market is expected to grow to $500 billion by 2023 from about $230 billion now. That is according to IDC. And while Amazon's AWS is currently the biggest player in the cloud computing market, but Microsoft's Azure and Office 365, their cloud computing businesses have been growing faster than Amazon's AWS. And recently, the Pentagon awarded the prestigious JEDI cloud computing contract
Oh, wow.
to Microsoft, and that is expected to be worth over $10 billion over the next decade.
And did I read they're making inroads in gaming too?
Yes, their gaming segments has also been doing pretty well. The results were very good, recent results beating on both the top and bottom lines. And in fact, cloud computing business revenue grew 36% during the reported quarter. Now, if you go to detailed estimates, you can see that analysts have been raising their estimates for the company. They have gone up significantly since the company reported results. Now, looking at the longer term price consensus and EPS surprise chart, 5-year, it has missed only once in the past 5 years. The chart looks beautiful, and you can also see how the share price has been going up steadily over the past 5 years. Now, another reason why I like Microsoft is that they have been returning a lot of cash to shareholders in the form of dividends and share buybacks. Now, the dividend is not great. It's about 1.3% as of now because share price has been going up significantly. But that's good because not many technology companies pay that kind of dividend. Another interesting thing about Microsoft is that there was an article in the journal recently that Microsoft benefits a lot from recent flow of funds into ESG-focused ETFs and mutual funds. ESG-focused funds have been very popular of late with institutional investors as well as with individual investors. And the article in the journal pointed out that some of the top ESG indexes, they are overweight Microsoft and some other tech companies because obviously big tech companies, they have low carbon footprint and they generally have better governance standards and they are more fair to maybe the women and LGBTQ employees. So that is why they are among the top holdings in ESG focused funds. Now, Microsoft was the target of regulatory scrutiny many years back, but of late it has managed to stay away from regulatory spotlight, while some of the other tech giants like Google and Facebook, they are facing a lot of regulatory scrutiny over antitrust, misinformation, and data privacy. But Microsoft is relatively immune from those kind of concerns. So I think it's in a good position as of now. It has a Zacks rank number 2 as of now and trading at a forward price multiple of 27 times. It's not cheap, but not very expensive either.
Okay. Do you own either of these two stocks that we
I
talked
own
about?
Microsoft in my personal portfolio.
All right. Hey, Dave, what about you? Own either of these two?
Not yet, but I'll be looking to add some GGAL here very soon.
Okay. Thanks for the information. And don't forget, there's always more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. Get over to the homepage and start checking it out on these two companies and many others for that matter. Also, in case you haven't heard, for a limited time, you're invited to follow market insights, buys, and sells from our recommendation portfolios in real time for about a period of 30 days. And the best part is it only costs you $1 to do so. You can even look into services that up to now have been exclusive to members and closed to new investors. And you can do that by visiting Zacks.com/promo for more details. With Nina and Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.